The brand new Taylormade P7MC Irons. Let's do it, and let's do it now. Hi everyone, James Robinson here. Guys, first things first, I'd like to warmly welcome you all back to the channel, or to the channel if you're new to the channel. If you are new to the channel, you know what to do, guys. Or maybe you don't know what to do. Guys, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. That way you won't miss any of the great golf-related content I bring to you guys every single day. In today's video, today we're testing the brand new Taylormade P7MC Irons. And I've got to say, these remind me of a better time, a simpler time, an RAC time. And not the breakdown company either. So the Taylormade P770 Irons come in the family of the brand new Taylormade P770s and also the Taylormade P7MBs. Now the Taylormade P790 is still in the family, so do not for one second think that that has gone. But for me, I mean, first things first, we probably need to just kind of take these off because that's always the best bit, and people shout at me if I don't show you that. So today we've got the 5-iron, the 7-iron and the 9-iron. We're going to start with the 9-iron. And now I think these are potentially the most understated clubs in the new range from Taylormade, because looking down at them, for me looking down at them, they look awesome. So what we're going to do in today's video, guys, we're going to look at the looks of the Taylormade P7MCs. The looks of the looks. We're going to look at the looks. We're going to look basically, I mean, come on. They look pretty good to me. They have a compact grain forged feel to them, and also a tour inspired shape, which, although I'm not on tour, maybe the Mickey Mouse tour, I love a tour inspired shape. Looking down at that, it doesn't quite look like a blade. It hasn't quite got the top line of the MB. It hasn't quite got, so as you can see here on the right hand side, we've got the MC, on the left hand side, we've got the MB. Now the top line on the MB is quite a little bit thinner. We've got a lot less offset on there as well. So if you are wanting a totally tour inspired shape, then maybe the MB will be the way to go. But obviously the MC is going to offer you that bit more forgiveness, which I'm quite looking forward to in this test. Now that's enough talking for now. Let's start with this 9-iron and let's see exactly how they perform. That was the worst golf shot I've hit in a very long time. I'm interested to see how it goes actually. 9-irons pitched 135, and that was very nearly an unmentionable, which we'll not mention. Right, make up for that with the next one. And already looking down at this 9-iron, it's definitely, I could definitely game these no problem at all. I think any mid-handicapper is going to be fine with these looking down at them. I know sometimes it's difficult to say if you are a mid-handicapper, you can game an iron because of how it looks, how it feels, how it performs. I mean, you might be a mid-handicap because you're rubbish at putting. You might be a mid-handicap because you're terrible at chipping, like Ryan's sat over there. You might even be a mid-handicap because you can't go off the tee. But generally, I think these are going to suit most people's eyes. Sorry, Ryan. Better but left. Where's that going? So interestingly, I have already reviewed the Taylormade P7MB and the Taylormade P770. So if you do want to see those guys, they are on the channel now. I will link them somewhere in this video. I'm not entirely sure where they come up, but how do they compare? If you want to see a big comparison, guys, get in those comments and let me know. And also like this video. Another good strike and another one slightly left. Consistent. So guys, what we'll do, we'll hit a couple more 9-irons and I'm going to talk you through the in-depth spec on these clubs. We'll talk you through how they feel, how they look, and what technology goes into them as well. But first, we'll finish this 9-iron off. So that's 5 shots hit with the Taylormade P7MC 9-iron. Now, what did Taylormade say about these clubs? So the Taylormade P7MCs do have a tour-inspired shape, which means they have a thinner top line, they have a little bit more of a progressive offset as the set goes on, and we also see a much narrower sole for better turf interaction. It's like when I fat it, or yeah, anyway. They are made of 1025 carbon steel, and they are forged under a 2,000-ton press to ensure a tighter grain flow forging. That's, I mean, all I really know about that is 2,000 tons of like heavy, very heavy. Right, let's go into the 7-iron. Let's see how this 7-iron looks. Down at address, it definitely looks a lot bigger than the MB, but it looks a lot smaller than the P770. I'll show you all 3 7-irons here in a row now, And yeah, it just sits nicely in the middle. A little bit too much offset from what I would like. That was heavy, so how's that going to go? Oh, that felt so good. That was the first shot where I've really absolutely ripped it out the middle. I would show you, but it doesn't really show up on the face. That's gone a long way. That was a nice shot. That was 10 yards further than my 7-iron would usually go. I'm going to throw the lofts up on the screens now of these in relation to the lofts of the P770 and the lofts of the P7MB. As you can see, they sit pretty much in the middle, which you would expect. I wonder if we could make these without the offset, how that would look, because looking down at them, they look absolutely fantastic, apart from you just start to get that bit of offset. Now in the P7MBs, you don't have that because Rory said, nope, we're not having offset in them. I'm using those golf clubs. I don't like offset, so we're not having it. I suppose these are targeted at a slightly different demographic than Rory. But they still look fantastic. I love how they kind of look and resemble the old RACs. That's the big thing for me, which I absolutely love. Right, let's hit a couple more 7-irons. What are these spinning at? See, that was nice. That was on the number, and I would expect that. Where was that? Still low spin, but a better spin. And for me, when I get more spin, it is close to the number which I would want. Like a little bit less. I've got to say, looking down at these, I know that's going to be a good number because I absolutely ripped it, but it does give you way more confidence than the MB, but it doesn't give me less confidence than the P770, which I know a lot of people who are watching this video are going to be in between the MB, in between the P770. You might even be thinking P790, but that doesn't look difficult to hit, apart from when you put a bad swing on it, difficult to hit. Right, last shot with the 7-iron, then we're going to talk a little bit more tech, and then we're going to look at the 5-iron. Let's have a nice swing to finish this 7-iron on. Right guys, so now we look at the 5-iron. I'm going to show you a close-up of this down at the ball now, and it looks brilliant. For me, the offset on it isn't too bad. I don't know why, I just had a bit of a problem with the offset on the 7-iron. The 9-iron was fine, the 5-iron's fine. I just not 100% sure with that. One thing Taylormade are saying about these clubs is they do have machined face and grooves. Now, I mean, I don't really know what that particularly means, but if I run my finger over the face here, you can kind of feel and you can see in the right light a bit of a kind of micro grooving or micro milling, which does look quite cool actually. Not sure how long that'll last, but right, 5-iron. I think 210 with this, or 205 maybe, is a good shout. Like that, fall left. Not the best. Interestingly, when you don't catch this, I mean, they do feel pretty good to be fair when you're middle of them. The 7-iron in particular felt great, but when you don't quite catch the long iron, not as much forgiveness there as I would have maybe liked, but then just make a better swing, James, I think. And then when you absolutely nut it, it just feels absolutely phenomenal. Definitely not as much forgiveness as the P770, but a marked improvement on forgiveness on the P7MB, which again, we would just expect. Are these clubs just exactly what you would want, exactly what you would expect? Potentially, yeah. Right guys, so basically when you do catch these out the middle, they definitely go where you want them to go. If you don't catch them out the middle, well they don't, but then which golf clubs do? Bit of an epiphany that, isn't it really? Right, let's hit one more, then let's take a look at one of the big numbers I might worry about with these clubs is the spin number. How do they spin? Do they spin okay? Do they spin too low? I don't think they'll spin too high, but, right, so there's a par 3, 210 to the flag, but there's water short and you've got to carry it 195. See, we might even try and fade this one in. No idea why, but that's how my brain works, so. Go, go, fly. Oh, it's wet by a yard. It's gone 200, but it carried 189, I think, that one, so that's 189 by a yard. It's hit the rockery, come back, filled us with hope, and not quite made it back, so it's still in the pond. Right guys, so let's take a look at these numbers, and as you can see we do have the 99 on top, so we'll start with that. 99 spinning on average 6360, which is that kind of lighter number in the middle there. That is low, isn't it? What's the distance we've got? We've got a 139 carry and a 148 total. We move down here to the 7 iron. Now 7 iron average ball speed 114, which is pretty decent. Spinning on average 5042, which again is pretty low. An average carry, there was a couple of bad shots in there actually, but average carry of 163 and a 174 total. So pretty much where I would expect my 7 iron to be. Then we move down to the bottom here to the 5 iron. 5 iron spinning at 3,829 on average. That last one was the best spin number actually at 4346, getting closer to that number on the bottom of the club. Average 186 carry, 201 total, again there or thereabouts. So guys, the Taylormade P7MC Irons. Now the numbers stack up pretty well, they stack up okay for what they are. I'm not gonna lie guys, I haven't swung my best there, but I do think it's important that we just keep all the numbers in, test them for good shots, test them for bad shots, and see how they then go. Now, these are, I think they look great, and I think they look great because I come from a generation where the RAC irons were so prominent, were so good looking, were so renowned, I suppose you could say. I don't think the youth of today, if the youth of today, I mean I'm not old myself, but I don't think people who haven't seen RACs or haven't played RACs will get it. I don't think they'll get the looks. I know the old P750 got slated a bit for its looks, didn't it? People called it a George Foreman pad, they called it a jail cell, they called it, they didn't call it very nice names. Now, I happen to think they look good. I think some people might think they don't look good, and I think they might go for the P770s primarily because they look absolutely awesome, and I think everyone agrees they look awesome. The MBs are always going to look awesome, and I don't think anyone can ever really argue with that. So guys, hit those comments below. Which irons for 2020 will you potentially be looking at? Will you be looking at the Taylormade P7NC irons or NC? Maybe I could make some NC irons. Anyway guys, thank you so much for watching. Massively hope you've enjoyed that. If you have, make sure you hit that subscribe button below. Leave us a like if you enjoyed that video. And apart from that guys, huge thanks to the guys at Golf Catcher for hosting me down here on the south coast near Pool. Near Pool or in Pool? Near Pool. Just outside Pool is near Pool. And apart from that guys, I'll very much look forward to seeing you all tomorrow. Bye.